A great light is on the planet, is in your world. It is a moment, but a brilliant opportunity, a brilliant light where you can see for a moment that something has shifted and things are getting better after all. It is not as dark and gloomy as all appears. So I'm going to continue at some length. I, Jesus Sananda, am representing the Council of Light, which is all ascended masters, saints, and teachers of all of Earth's history and world teachers. We together are in concert on singular messages of individuality and freedom. This is the nature of life at its best. And so, recapping what did not get said on the last video due to a technical difficulty. I am back. I am here. Carol felt it was so important to share with you what we just recorded. And it did not, anyway, we're using a different phone camera now. This is what matters. You matter. We are here today to tell you how much we love you, how much we are grateful to you for being the person that you are in this world, as difficult as your life challenges may be. Because the physical world is not an easy place for anyone. And we are so grateful to you for not only being in the physical body and dealing with whatever is going on with it, but knowing that you are more than the body and you are in the process now of becoming better, 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 better. You are better than you were 5 years ago. You're more aware and conscious and sensitive and intuitive than you were 5 years ago. Feel it. Realize it, acknowledge it, know it. You are not the person you were 5 years ago. You are better. You're more sensitive, you're more caring, you're more compassionate. You have a deeper understanding of complex issues of all levels, including spiritual. And you understand that there is more to you and more to everyone than we often realize when we're in the body. But you're knowing this, you're realizing this, and this we applaud you and we are so grateful. Your master teachers, your world teachers, whoever you are, whatever you study, we are all with you and we are all in concert on the basic principles of the life that is filled with purpose and meaning. And that is, you have your individual goals, your individual thoughts and purpose, and ways and talents and aptitudes for how to be useful in this world. For the purpose of life is to be useful, is to be helpful. It's not just about you. And that is part of the growth process, the learning process. But the more you reach out to help someone else or to help another, to help other, whether it be animals or the planet, there is always a great need. And your purpose is whatever your heart is tugging at you to do. That's how you know what it is. You feel it, something nagging at you to do, because that is what you're drawn to, because that is your gift and your talent and your deep understanding and connection to being a part of the solution. But mainly, we wanted you to know that we are here for you. We are in the world, in our spiritual bodies. We still have our ascended consciousness, which is the last level of ascension. It is that very last level of ascension just before one has the option of going into the I am group consciousness. But we are choosing to remain in the individuality because that is how we serve to the greater purpose at this point in evolution. Everyone you have ever thought of as a spiritual teacher who has gone on is now here with you, has ascended, and is serving the higher good of all, as we all do. But specifically this day, not only in your own life, yes, look for it, be aware of it. Something spectacular is happening to show you, all is not lost. There is hope. Thank God. And there is cause for optimism. This is what we share with you. It is a glimmer, it is a glimpse, it is a must happen, it is an event to show you that things really are moving in a better direction at this moment in time on Earth. One of the things I was speaking of to great extent today, do not lose hope in the face of opposition or fear, others' fear, anger, others' anger. Do not lose hope, because society as a whole, as well as in each nation, and even in your own single community or location, is going through massive shifts and changes in attitudes. The old way is hanging on. But that will fall away over time. For you are in the new era, the new world. You have crossed the threshold into a new era of exploration, becoming better, more improved. This is a significant new era. It is unlike any ever in human history on any planet, on any earth. What's going through right now on this earth and all other earth-like worlds, other worlds where humans and humanoids of like kind exist, all in the same, going through the same thing you are psychologically, physically, shifts in attitude and perspective, what matters, what is important. This new era is unlike anything that has ever happened before. It is the first. We call it an evolutionary leap, which I wrote initially in the book through Carol, The New Humanity. Present day, she did a new version with the new title, Humanity 2.0. But the New Humanity is large letters, second subheading, because it's the core, it's the book, and I wrote the book. I wrote all of Carol's books. She didn't know it was me at the time. But now I'm telling everybody, yeah, I wrote all her books. And the New Humanity is the core message that we of the Council of Light, in fact, the Divine Council of the Cosmos, whom I also am representing, is the core message, because there are two core messages in this book. pristine little book. First, I sent the visions to Carol during her awakening in 1975, and then we did a first draft. It turned out in 1982. And then in 1994, at last, full presence. And so it was a great relief. I was able to come through as the highest consciousness that Carol had reached at that point, which was her, let's see, I'm trying to figure out, I don't remember. But I wrote all the books, and we wrote 6 books in 1994 when she was in a very high state of consciousness for 6 months, 24/7. And that's because I was there. It was me. And anyway, the 2 primary messages in that we of the council share, along with all of the other wonderful things that we have to say. And I am the spokesperson for the group. Let's put it that way. I'm the spokesperson. I was chosen to represent, so on this earth, to represent to this earth. You're in an evolutionary leap as a human species. It's incremental, it's slow, but it began. Well, let's say you crossed the threshold. September 22, 2011, during that equinox. That was the threshold. And that was when the veil lifted. So there's no longer a veil between this world and yours. Anyone who has the ability and sensitivity can see and hear, because there's no more veil between the dimensions. Dimensions. That's all it is. It's different dimensions, different levels of dimension. That also happens to be different levels of consciousness. As you rise in consciousness, you increase your ability to perceive higher levels of dimension. This is the spiritual and psychic evolution. But there is also happening incrementally a physical evolution as well. Because what I discuss in the New Humans, expanded 3rd edition now, with new messages from me in 2021, or maybe it was 22. I think it was 22. I don't remember. It was recent. No, 23. Sorry about that, Carol. We're writing something all the time. Anyway, it's expanded 3rd edition. But in that book, sequel to the New Humanity, I share an awful lot about the DNA and how there is an awakening thread of DNA in the human species, and that is part of this evolutionary leap. I go into that extensively in that book. But bottom line, this evolutionary leap, the reason it's the reason it's now, and not ever before, it's not Homo Sapiens. This is way, way, way past that. You already are way, way past that, Homo Sapiens. You already have evolved past that, and you are still evolving, which is normal. It's physical. It's also psychic, spiritual, emotional, okay? But it's also physical. And the reason we say this is profound and exceptional, and nothing like it has ever happened before. And that's why this is difficult for you. This is why it's such a difficult transformation for you, because you have a history, unless you're born now or recently, you have a history to get past. Move past it, move forward, move ahead. Because the only other time, this is the second time in human history that you have made an evolutionary leap. And the first time was when there were first humans, when humans began. And that's a long story, deserving many mentions in many books, and will have a book of its own and more books besides. It's a very long story, but bottom line, when humans first began, when there were first humans in the Pleiades, and the planet was Eden, it was the first Eden. Okay? And there have been many since then. And then there was this lovely planet, this wonderful planet, that we would like to see restored to its pristine purity. And can happen. It's not too late. Anyway, that was one of the two major messages that we have shared. I also share extensively in my book, in my own personal voice, first edition in 2019, expanded second edition 2021, The Bringers of Hope. I speak it in great detail and in great length on this transformation and this shift, along with a lot of other information about angels, extraterrestrials, and everything that you want about personal growth and how to be a better person, etc. And a very huge volume in the middle about the return of all the saints, because the main message of the book is, I am here. I have returned. I am returned. And so also all of the ascended masters and saints as well. We are all here with you in spiritual bodies with our ascended consciousness, so that we can be in more than one place at a time. Because when you reach that final level of ascension, it's the nearest level you can get to being godlike, to being back in the I am. We're choosing to keep our individuality because it has a purpose. We're choosing to purpose. It's always it's a choice. It's always a choice. Everything is a choice. But bottom line, the message sharing with you today is this day, something splendid is happening to show you that things are getting better, that all is not lost, that it is not downhill. Yes, it may be uphill, but it is not downhill. You are still cresting the mountain, dear one, and you're not there yet as a people, the high plateau. You're not there yet as a people, but you are climbing and you are growing and you are learning and you are evolving. All you have to do is, aside from all the problems, look back 100 years, look back 200 years as a human society. Look back 1,000 years. Look back at human society and realize this. The thing is, despite all the problems, crises, violence, war, greed, abuse, the thing is, today, more people worldwide see the problem and want to change it. The point is, you're more conscious now as a people than you've ever been. More conscious. What is consciousness? It is compassion. What is consciousness? Compassion. Compassion is divine love. When you're more conscious, you see, perceive, understand, and feel at a higher plateau than ever before as a person, as a people. and you now see the problem and want to change it. That's the difference. No longer taking it for granted, no longer accepting it as the status quo, looking for solutions, looking to do better as a whole, as an individual. That is what is new. Consciousness is expanding. Sensitivity and compassion is expanding. More people care than ever before in human history. That is growth. And that is how you can see that all is not lost. We are in a transformation. And you are here now at this time, beloved, because you are part of the solution, because you see the problem, and you are here to contribute to solving the problem. Whatever problem is calling upon you to give and contribute to improving and changing and erasing. You are here because you care. Most of you volunteered to be in this life because of what this time is all about. Evolution is not fast, but nevertheless, you are in it. With our blessing, and we are with you through it all, never leaving you, not leaving your side. We are always with you to help you through this challenge. For a challenge it is. With our love, no, you are not alone, ever. And we love you. I am Jesus Sananda. The Sananda part is explained, discussed in most of the videos already given by Carol. She is bringing the ones from 2 and 3 years ago forward. For example, you recently had the video of the first angel, parts 1 and 2, or the first created being. And then there are more after that. If you want to go back, you can. They're near the beginning of the videos. But over time, she's going to bring them forward as well, because it goes into describing who is the first angel, who is Sananda. And then there's the story of how did Jesus come to be? How did I come to be? And that's more recent. So you can start with the recent video, Jesus is on the earth now. I am returned. You can start there and then go backward a few videos. The next one, I believe, is Jesus' first breath, and the one after, and it's joyful. And the one after that, I believe, is how did Jesus come to be? And that is the story of 50 archangels had a meeting, and it's true. This is how it happened. And then I believe the next piece is Jesus' history with the channel, Carol. But there are details in there about becoming Jesus. I start now and go backward because now the details are more clear. And as you go backward, you just get filled in. That's most of the story. I will be sharing more of it. I've also shared many pieces of my past as Jesus on the planet in my books and in my new channelings, starting with the Bringers of Hope. And every time I add a new volume to the books, such as I did with the New Humans, expanded third edition, every time I add a new volume to anything, and I also wrote the Bringers of Hope, I am sharing a bit more about myself and things that have never been, something new, never been published before. So it's all fun. I'm just letting you get to know bits and pieces as I can of who I am, how this all happened, how did we do this, why did we do this. It's all for you. Because we all could see and feel the challenge of being in the physical world, and how do we help you recover and re-become your true original self as you were before first becoming human at the beginning. And now here you are on the planet, yes, still learning and growing, yes, evolving, but many of you are already master teachers. And if you are, you know this, or you feel it, you sense it. But know this, time is irrelevant. All that matters is you are here and you are contributing to the human species, evolving in compassion and becoming part of the solution to whatever problem they encounter. Because the open heart is the doorway to expanding into higher consciousness. The more you give, the more you love, the more you know, the more you care.